Have you got stairs that squeak, creak and drive you mad with noise? Well, today on Fix It with Fowler, I'm going to show you 3 simple methods to prevent these from making a noise. So, how to remove the carpet? You're going to need very basic tools, a screwdriver, a smallish one, and I always like to use some long nose pliers. You can use normal pliers, but I find these are better just for getting in the edges. So what you've got to do is release the carpet off the gripper rods first. Get to the edge of the carpet, and you might just be able to release it. Once you've got it starting to come off, you can use your hand and gently prise it away. So on to the next thing, these gripper rods. Now, if you've never come across gripper rods, you've never had any contact with them, then you're in for a real nasty surprise. Now, these things are lined with these real sharp tacks, and you can see I've got some gloves on which will offer a little bit of protection. But if you catch yourself on these, whether it's your knuckles, you put your hand on them or tread on them, you're really going to know about them. They are razor sharp. They're good for holding the carpet, not for good for your skin. So when you come to take these off, I really advise you getting a thick pair of gloves just to give you that little bit of protection. So on to this next method of taking these gripper rods off. So the first thing I've done is I've marked this gripper rod with a number 1, and I've marked the tread as well. And I'm going to do that all the way up the stairs. That way, when we come to refit the gripper rods, the tacks that actually hold them in will go straight back into the existing holes, and it'll make it a lot easier to put them on. Okay, so where do these treads and risers move to create this squeaking and creaking noise? Well, there's a few places, and the main places they're going to move is along this edge here. And the reason they move there is because the wooden blocks that are in there and the pins at the back have moved over time. So these stairs are about 40 years old, and over time the wood dries out and you get movement. And with that movement, the wedges that they put in can move and become not quite as tight. And that's how this movement starts. So we can have movement across the front of the actual tread. And that is, as this flexes, it rubs on this wood here, the riser. The riser itself is rebated into the underneath of this tread. So if you look at it from the side, you'd have like a gap and the wood would sit in. And what you're getting is that movement. So that's one of the places we're going to secure the tread to the riser. And the other place we're going to secure is, again, the tread to the riser in this back edge. Okay, so the next thing is to mark where we're going to drill the holes into the actual tread itself. So what we'll do is we'll get the adjustable set square, put that onto the tread and tighten that up, and then that sort of tells us roughly how far we need to put the first mark on the top of the step. So looking at that, that's about 8 mil. Now the pilot hole we drilled through the wood, half of that measurement is about another 8 mil. So if we add both of them together, and then we can set the set square, make a mark at one end, make a mark at the other, mark in the middle, and then we can get a straight edge and draw down that. Now, it just so happens I've got a piece of wood that's the right measurement, and if we put that into place, I can then draw down that. We know that that is where all the fixings are going to be. Now, as you can see from these stairs, they are all going to be fixed the same. So what I've actually done with this piece of wood is I've put some marks on, spaced them equally, allowing for the wood to be pushed up to one edge of the stringer. And what that does, that gives us 5 fixings through the top of the tread, which will hold this into place and hopefully give us a really good mechanical fixing. So you can either select the right size drill bit, drill a hole, and then get a countersink bit and countersink it, or you can get one of these which has got a pilot bit and a countersink all in one, and you can actually adjust the depth of that to suit what you're going to do. And I'm going to use one of these because it's easy and it's quick. So if you put that into your drill, find the hole, so if you're finding this video helpful, don't forget, leave me a comment below, give the video a thumbs up, and most importantly, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. So what I'm going to do is going to put some of that glue down these back edges, but I'm also going to add a mechanical fixing using this pocket hole jig. Now once you've got the glue in place like that, you can just leave it a few minutes and make sure that it's not going to sink any, you're not going to lose any of that glue. Now it will run down, and that's what we really want. What we're trying to do is get the glue to get into that joint and expand slightly as it soaks into the wood. Okay, so the first method we're going to do freehand. Now this is a 4.5mm drill bit, and what we're going to do is just come away from that tread, start the drill in an upright position. Now once we've got it into the actual wood itself, we can then move the drill over, and then from this angle we can then drill into the back piece of wood. Now you don't want to go all the way through this wood, because what we need is we need the screw to really bite well. So what we're actually aiming to do is not quite come out of this piece of wood. So once you've done that, if you get a countersink bit, do the same sort of thing. So onto the actual jig itself. So these measurements across the side relate to the depth of wood. This wood is just around 20mm, 25mm. So we've sort of set that a little bit shallow on purpose. And then the next thing on the back is your drill guide itself. So this is the depth that you're going to actually drill. So basically you line your drill up, and once you've got it to the depth you want, you can tighten this collar up. And then when the drill bit goes through your jig, it gives you the same angle, gives you that drill into the material, and allows you to fix into something at a very acute angle. Like I said, specifically designed really for furniture, for corners like in drawers and things like that. So let's give this a go and see how we get on. So we've done one freehand, and now let's see how we get on with the actual jig itself. So normally you would clamp this jig into position, but we haven't got such luxuries. So what we're going to do is put this through here and start to drill. Now, once you've got your hole drilled, okay, so that's the all the screws in, the glue's just setting now. So while that's curing, I'm going to get on and put the gripper rods back into place. So that's the gripper rods all into position, and now we're going to need a staple gun and your underlay to put that back on. And that's all the underlay back into place. Now for the carpet. Okay, so the final stage is to put this carpet back down onto the risers. So if you get yourself some carpet adhesive, if your carpet's a bit old like this, sometimes they stretch and out of shape, and you can just put a bit of this on and help it to stick down and get it nice and flat. So I'm just going to go lay this on, get this onto the gripper rods, and then hopefully that should be job done. So that's the stairs all fixed. I'm really happy with the results. And like any DIY project, sometimes you come across things that are a bit more difficult than you anticipate. So we had a little bit of trouble with the top tread, but that's all good now. So hope you liked the video. Don't forget, look at my channel. I've got loads of great DIY videos, and I'll see you soon.